Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. All right, so we got 13 people here. Now, is this a live show? Kind of. Think of this as one of my regular videos because it's on my regular channel. I'm just doing it live. All right. And the way we're going to do this is I'm going to talk you guys through this watch and give you some of my impressions, pretty much like I do in all my videos on my regular channel. And then once I do that, I'm going to jump over to the live channel, my live channel, link in the description. And then anybody can jump on and we can really go into the details of this watch. All right. Now, while I'm going through this, if you want to hijack the conversation, you can do super chats on this channel. So if you want to hijack the conversation and just ask me something about a Rolex, you can do that. All right. Now, this is huge, guys. This is huge. And I just found out about this 2 hours ago, probably. You know, this second I scheduled this live video, and man, let me just say that I'm blown away. And do you see the smile? All right, this is what horology should be about. And you know, I had a friend, and this was Wes I'm talking about, and you know what he did? He sent me a message on WhatsApp. He said, "What do you think of the MoonSwatch?" I was like, "MoonSwatch? This is like hours. This is like 10 hours ago." And I was like, "Moonwatch, all right." And I started talking about the Speedy with him, and then like 10 hours later, I see what he's talking about, and I'm checking it out, and here I'm. It is so interesting, and it's like, you know, it's thematic, and you've got 11 different of these, and I guess I should just say what we're talking about if anybody stumbles upon this video. The Omega Speedmaster. That's a mechanical watch that went to the moon, and they are partnering. Omega is partnering with Swatch. They're part of the same company, and they're going to come out with a quartz, inexpensive moon watch, the MoonSwatch. And again, it's thematic. There are 11 of them, one for each planet, one for the sun, and one for the moon as well. And it's just so fun. And we often pit Rolex and Omega at each other, all right? And this is a move that is just so different than what, you know, Rolex would ever do, that it's refreshing and it's fun and it's awesome. And we got something here. Chong Kian Chong. Thank you, man. Super sticker. Appreciate it. All right. Okay. So let me just say that I've always thought about this. Okay. I've always thought about Rolex doing this because I think mostly about Rolex, being such a Rolex fan. And this sort of idea of them coming out with a cheap sub, like a starter sub. And I always thought that would be so cool. They never will do it. I mean, if you want a starter watch from Rolex, it's going to be a Tudor. They never would do it. I'm not even sure it would be good for their brand long term. And that's maybe something we should talk about a little bit later, whether this is going to be good for Omega long term. But if Rolex had done this, I would be going crazy and I would want every single one. So if you are an Omega fan, well, I know if I were an Omega fan, I would be getting every single one of these because you can. All right. They're $260. Let's jump over. Let's look at them as I'm going over this. And let's see, we'll do it like this. All right. So this is Swatch. And if you go over to Omega, you can see right here, they don't really have the information on the Omega website other than just sort of telling you it exists. And you can see this is a regular moon watch here, mechanical. And then you've got this swatch that we're talking about, this quartz Omega swatch, moon swatch. And this is the sun version. All right. And you go down a little bit, and we're not going to read through. This is the Mars version. And by the way, I'm wearing the red shirt in honor of the Mars version because I think that might be the one you might want to try and get. But again, we'll talk about that a little bit later. I believe this might be the Uranus version, I think. And which one is this? I think this might be, I don't know which one this was. I think this might be Jupiter, I think. All right. Okay. So anyway, that's everything that is on the Omega website, and they pretty much direct you to the Swatch uh, website. And we'll start out with the sun. And again, we're going to go into the details a little bit later. I'm just sort of glossing over everything. This is called bioceramic, this case. Now it looks, I thought it was plastic. I thought it looked plasticky, but when you realize what it is, it's kind of cool. All right. So it's 2/3 ceramic, 1/3 castor oil, apparently. So not, I mean, it's got a plasticky look maybe, but it's not like straight up plastic. All right. This is a quartz watch. Um, what else can I say about it? I I don't know if it's got any sort of water resistance, but you've got the moon right there. And yeah, let's just look at them really quickly. So this is, no, I'm sorry, this isn't the moon. This is the sun. So this has sort of a metallic sunburst dial. And I really, by the way, you can only get two of these. Okay, you can't get them through Omega. You got to go to a Swatch store, and apparently you can only get two. And so this kind of raises an interesting question because if I were to get two, which two would I get? And I thought the sun would be the one to get. One reason is because I really like the Aquaterra with the saffron dial, that new Aquaterra 2022 with the saffron dial. And but that's an $8,000 watch, and I feel like you can kind of get a little bit of Omega. I mean, for what, 260 USD. If you're in Japan, it's going to be 33,550 yen. All right, so very accessible, and this could, I think, scratch the itch for an Omega for many people. All right, now next one we go to is this is Mercury. It's got a dial that has like two colors on it. There's sort of a matte color here, and then on the outside, I think just sort of a different color. All right, not bad. I don't think this one's going to be the real hot one. Go ahead, throw your guesses in the chat, which you think is going to be the one to get. All right, now this is really cool because they've got something for everybody. They've got the one for women. All right, so I think there's like a famous book, uh, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, or something like that. And so they perhaps took that to heart and have the pink one. And it's a beautiful watch. I don't know if a man could sport that. I'd feel a little bit uncomfortable. And I don't know if Venus is pink or not, but what a beautiful planet if it is. I gotta like read up on my planets. By the way, I do have a a poster of the sun right here. So hey, I'm a fan of the sun, man. You should be a fan of the sun too. You kind of need it. We all do. So perhaps that's one other reason that I think the sun one will be kind of cool. All right, next we've got Earth. All right, now it's got brown hands. I guess that's because the dirt and stuff. Now I think this is going to be the lemon of the bunch, but who knows? It doesn't look particularly striking. Brown hands, and hey, like, we're mission to Earth. We're already there. By the way, they all say on the back, mission to wherever it is, mission to Mars, mission to the moon. And I couldn't help but kind of laugh because on the sun, mission to the sun. All right, good luck with that. But still kind of, they kept up with that convention. All right. You have the moon. All right. And so this is the closest to the moon watch. All right. And so it brings us to if this is a good idea and who this is for. Now, if I were a Moonwatch fan, again, like I said, I would be getting every single one of these. And if Rolex ever does something like this, and there are watches with Rolex on the dial selling for 260, I will get every single one. I will get like doubles of every single one. I'm not much of a fanboy. If you are the same about Omega, I mean, you do have Omega on the dial. Yeah, Omega plus Swatch. Okay, so you got the branding, you got Speedmaster on the dial, and then it says MoonSwatch. And so if you're a fan, I think this is awesome. And if you are a young person, sort of, you got your eye on a really nice watch, but you're 15 years old and the most money you make is, a couple $100 a month during summer break or something, you just can't get a moon watch, right? It's really not feasible. This is a perfect option. And I think there's two ways of thinking that this can draw people in, and they look down and they think, man, I'm going to get the real one. Someday I'm going to get the real one. But I think it could backfire. And, some people will probably have it and it might sort of check off that box. And when they do get a little bit of money and get ready to spend it on a watch, they might say, well, I kind of feel like I've done the moon watch thing. So you got to wonder about that. All right. So this, if you really want something as close to the moon watch, well, here it is. All right. All right. Mission to Mars. And the the colors are beautiful on this. I mean, I love red. I'm not sure if red and white work so well together. Maybe, maybe not. But anyway, you've got the subdials, and you can see. I can't really zoom in on this. And again, we'll get to the details in the live show after this show. I'm just glossing over things here, giving you my impressions. But I think this is going to be the one to get. And if you look at the subdials, you can see that the hands are a little bit different, and they look like the Alaska Project hands, but apparently they are, I want to say, the Gemini module. That's what they're shaped like. And apparently it shakes so much that you need to be able to, I guess, have have the thickness of those hands so you can see like anybody is going to be taking this in a module anywhere. Okay. But that's sort of the logic behind it. And I thought this would be, along with the sun, I thought this might be one that takes off. This might be one of the ones to have. Again, your wife go and yeah, I don't know. Am I going to be getting any of these? That's perhaps I haven't decided yet. All right. Am I going to trek to a swatch place and try to get one? I'm tempted because it would be fun, right? But I'm not sure. This could be one I would go for, the sun. Um, and then you got Jupiter. Now, the hands on Jupiter look sort of like Jupiter's orange. Okay, the orange of Jupiter. Yeah, kind of interesting, but to me, it's an attractive one. But again, I don't think this is going to be anything special. I think you'll probably be able to get these. Wow, will these sell out? Almost certainly. But again, this is we're at the bidding stage where you're putting your money down on the hot one. And look, if you walk into a Swatch dealership, how do you say it, Swatch shop, and you got your pick of the litter, I would, for $260, I'd do it. I'd put your money down on what you think is going to be the hottest. And again, I think the sun bias there, but you know, and going on. And of course, the sun kicks all the other planets' asses. So, and then this is cool as well. Now, I think this has a more of a toned down look to it. This is Saturn, and you got that subdial, and it's got 14 rings, just like Saturn. Perth luxury with two Australian bucks. Thanks, man. He says, Austin, the Mars hands look like an SR-71 Blackbird. Perhaps they do. Perhaps they do. Perth, I think it's those hands that are gonna make that one pull ahead, and also sort of the punchy colors, and also that Alaskan project look. I think this could be my number three. All right, and it's really about the rings. I don't. It doesn't have that punchy look to it. I mean, it's a really attractive watch. Saturn is super cool, super cool. Then we've got all right, Uranus. I had a math teacher, and of course the not math teacher, science teacher, and she would say Uranus, but the kids, of course, would always say Uranus. And look, hey, they here's where the comedy bit comes in. Just relax, everybody. This is where they kind of made something for everybody. You got the Venus one for the women, and then for certain guys, you got this one. not if you're a top, but maybe if you're a bottom and you meet somebody on Grinder and you strap this one on and you go out on your first date, mission to Uranus. That's right. All right. Um, and I'd say it's for a bottom versus a top because of that light baby blue, which is a little bit effeminate, right? So anyway, something for everybody. Yeah, light blue, mission to Uranus. I don't think people are going to go after this one, but hey, something for everybody, I guess. All right. And then you've got Neptune. Now, Neptune is a super cool planet. There's a lot of blue on this, blue and black, as deep as dark. For me, it's just a little bit too much. Neptune. So I don't know. Yeah, cool, but nothing that really is spectacular. Um, and then you've got Pluto. Oh, Pluto, which is awesome. I mean, Pluto isn't a planet; it's a dwarf planet. Now they upped it to a dwarf planet. So Pluto always gets beaten around, and so you got to love Pluto. And Pluto's a little gray planet, and so they have some burgundy on here, which I guess they were like, yeah, you're like a little rock in space, and there's nothing to you. We'll just give you some burgundy. We'll just pretend you have some burgundy on you. Um, Again, kind of cool because it's sort of special. I mean, Pluto's like, again, it's a dwarf planet and it's the furthest away. Um, but do I think this one will sell out? Not really, but I mean, it is attractive the way they pull it off. All right, so there we go. And different than anything Rolex would do or will ever do. And look, this is fun, right? And I think that's the way you got to look at it and not take it too seriously. Is this really going to be a bad move long term? Well, that's the interesting thing. Uh, so and and you've watered it down, right? And so I don't know. I'm not sure if long term it's a great thing, but today it's fun, and I really feel like, and we're going to wrap it up in a minute, and we're going to jump over to the live thing. And by the way, when we do you see this whiskey behind me? I was getting drunk. Okay, um, so I've got some whiskey back there. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. But what was I saying? Yes, right. I was saying that this it's fun, okay? And the thing I've noticed about Omega is that and I'm going to compare it to Rolex right now because when Rolex does something, it's it's immediately legendary. It's big. It's always going to be cool. It's special, right? Sort of like, and a lot of it has to do with because it's hard to get them. Okay, I'll just give you an example, like the BLNR, right? The BLNR. I mean, the BLNR. Getting a BLNR today is as mind blowing as when they first came out. I mean, nothing has changed, right? That watch has as much punch as it ever has, and again, a lot of it has to do with the fact that you can't get these watches. All right, but Omega's a little bit different in the sense that they're really cool when they first come out, and it's easy to get wrapped up in that and say, "Yeah, it's beautiful. I want to get that." And then it's sort of like it very quickly becomes last year's thing, right? And so I'll bring up the Aquaterra with the saffron dial. I think it's a beautiful watch. It's something like 8,000 USD. Would I like to have it? Kind of. Would I scrape together 8,000 USD to buy it? No. All right. And it's one of those that the sweetest point of ownership would be that first year when it's new and it feels new. But come 2023, 2024, when they're doing other things with the Aquaterra line, it's gonna kind of maybe feel like last year's thing. And I feel like that never happens to Rolex, right? I mean, those Oyster Perpetuals came out, what, a couple of years ago? They're not old news. They're not old news at all. So I feel like that can happen to Omega. And so I wonder if the same deal is with these. It's like we're kind of pumped about them, but in a couple of years, will having one of these be special? Will it feel like, yeah, I kind of remember when it came out in 2022 and I thought it was really cool, but I don't think it's so cool now. And it's kind of lame. And, I got it out of my system and it was only $260. And I guess that's the beauty of it. But with the Aquaterra at 8,000, that can hurt. But things can happen and some of these can really shoot up in price. And that's the interesting thing about the, some of these, right? Some of these Omega watches. I think of the Snoopy, like the first Snoopy. I mean, you can't say that about the first Snoopy. They sell for like 25,000 USD. At least that's the price. I don't think anybody's really buying them for that, but that's the price you see them for. So that to me is one of the most interesting things when I see a bunch of new releases from Omega. I think to myself, which one is the Snoopy? Which one is the next Snoopy? And let me tell you, that's hard. That's hard. And there you go, guys. All right. So thank you all 66 people. Let's see, what time is it? I think I scheduled the follow-up show for something like 10. I'm doing Japan time, by the way, which is 20 minutes away. So I'm going to probably jump off for 5 minutes and I'm going to crack these things behind me on the next show. I'm going to drop the link. You can jump on. We can talk about these. We can go off on tangents, talk about Rolex, talk about anything, right? And stay tuned for some upcoming live shows on said live channel, because I haven't really gone into a deep dive on the Aquaterras and the new Omegas, and I really want to do that and have a discussion with you guys about that. And also, on the 30th, I'm going to do a live show right as Tudor is unveiling their things. And so I'm going to schedule that as well. So anyway, thank you for watching. Link in the description. I'll see you guys in 5 minutes over on Watch Symposium live streams. Take care.